listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
I thought it was cool, and then I'll never forget. I started at Oxford Elementary School in Cleveland Heights. Finally went I'll go from a white, relatively conservative Seventh-day Adventist school out in the suburbs, way out. And then I end up at, Cleveland High School, Monticello Middle School, and I show up first day with Stadius. And I remember Cass was like, yo, that cat got on buddies. I was like, oh, no. So it's like, next thing you know, you want to have the hot stuff, man. And then when you see it and you compare the quality of the Stadias to a real Jordan, and you really look at them side by side and you understand it, it becomes like, man, this is like a really kind of a dope thing. Because if you're into fashion or you're into whatever you like, I mean, everyone loves Jordan. He really represents greatness, winning, and that's really why he's at the top of his game in every facet of his business, whether it's on the court or in Foot Locker. And, you just see this stuff, and it's art. I mean, you look at all the new shoes that they come out with, and nothing compares to the retro stuff. Nothing. I mean, and so my collection, I try not to limit my stuff just to Jordans. I try to expand to running shoes, whether it be some Asics or, maybe some Adidas or, Pumas. And so you like to diversify your game, but, because it's really gotten oversaturated with the Jordan stuff, but I'm still getting my J's. I mean, I know a lot of guys have fallen off of it, but it's just fun, man. It's a lot of good stuff out here, man. So you got to get it up, and it's not something you can wait on. If you don't get it when it come out, it's gone.
Yeah, definitely. So for those tuning in, you're listening to the Lance J Radio Show. So today we're talking about the Cement OG Jordan 4s. They came out a couple of weeks ago. Alan Boseman, who's on the ticket, is kind of talking about his experience. You use a very key word, nostalgia. When I look at the 4s, I think of Michael Jordan in the early days. I think of the Come Fly With Me. I think of when he was playing against the Bad Boy Pistons. It takes me back to 1988, 1989, when I was a little kid trying to get my parents to get me a pair of 4s. We touched also on, you said that it's fun as far as collecting and having a chance to wear that. Now that you're an adult and a husband and a father, one of the things that I see that you do, and I see other friends of mine that are collectors, and God has blessed them with the ability to be able to do this. But I see a picture. I'll have a picture of your foot and your lovely wife's foot, and then I'll have a picture of your two sons, and y'all will all be rocking the same type of shoe. What is it like being able to pass on that nostalgia from your childhood, where you were kind of collecting or wanting to get your hands on specific shoes that you may or may not have been able to get, to pass that down to your son?
Well, it's funny because as I told that story, I was thinking about how, I got my first pair of J's right after I started at Cleveland Heights. I got the 5s, the black 5s. As a matter of fact, they're coming back out. The suede joints with the blow tongue, and I mean, it was something. I remember getting them, man. I was so pumped, man, I'm finally getting the real deals. These boys are so dope. They were so clean, and the 5s to this day are one of my favorite pair of shoes. And then I'll never forget that year. This dude named Monty, he came. He was the only one. He got the fire red 5s, the ones with the only pair that originally came with the 23 stitched in on the side. That was the only pair. So at the time, we're like, oh my goodness, Mike came. After he hit us over the head with the white 5s, he hit us over the head with the black 5s, then he hit you with the fire red with the black tongue. I mean, it was just beautiful. I remember being like, man, those are so dope. But I was like, there's no way I can get my parents to buy me 2 pairs of J's in one year. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny because I look at my kids, and I don't do it to spoil them, really. It's more so, it's just I'm just one of those people who has I'm not going to be walking around in J's looking fresh. and my kid walking around is something else. That's just
right.
me personally. And truthfully, actually, the quality of them is pretty good. Like right now, Bryce is wearing Tristan's old pair of Grapes 5s. So, I mean, we keep them, they use them, and I think it's just it's something like I don't want them to be obsessive about it. I want the reality is you have to spend within your means. Like, you can't buy everything. Like, I know some people that buy every single pair of Jordans, no matter if they're
right.
OG, no matter if they're, not even that good looking. It's just they just want to buy them because they're Jordans.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to be like that, and I'm going to always teach my kids, like, appreciate it. And, don't think that you're entitled to it. But, it's something fun to be a part of. It's funny how it's really going mainstream because I've probably been truly collecting now, I'd say for about, really since I've really been working. So maybe like 9-10 years, probably 9 or 10 years I've really been collecting. And so the trick is to just get it over time, not really go crazy with it, just stay with your means. And nowadays, what's so dope about the game is people are now into, like I said, like Asics and more in the Pumas. So you can go out there and spend $80, $90 or only $100 and get a real cool pair of sneakers. It's not like only exclusively have to be Jordans anymore.
That's a really good point. It's not about spending the most money to say that I spent $700 or I spent $1,100 or I spent $400. It's just about having your own style and having something that's unique to yourself.
Right, and some of these pieces, works of art, and I mean that, man, because some of these shoes are beautiful. Like, you only can get them once, and I always have to tell my wife that. Like, I'm like, babe, like it's not that I want to just buy it as soon as it comes out, but when it comes out, if you don't get it, like the Force, if you don't get them when they come out, they're gone. Mm-hmm. And once they're gone, now in the secondary market, you got to pay double the price of what they were. And so I got a nice little plug, so I can get them when they come. So I usually do, but it's a fun, man. It's really a relationship driven business because, like, me and my plug, I mean, we're like super tight. That's my guy. And it really opens up other doors in relationships where I've been able to do things to benefit him, and not for just because we're friends. We build a real relationship. And so, but it's a fun hobby. I'm slowing down though. I'm pretty happy with my collection. I'm pretty much about to retire out the game. So, but it was fun, and I got some nice works of art in my closet.
Yeah, knowing you're not. First of all, you're not going to retire. Second of all, I do like. It's kind of like being in a secret society, a club.
Right.
Because like either I'm more of a foam guy than a Jordan guy. So when I have a specific pair of foam posits and somebody that's into foam sees those, they're like, man, I haven't seen anything like that before, we immediately strike up a conversation. Like, if I walk into a spot and I'm wearing a very unique pair of foams, I'll probably meet somebody and could spark a friendship or at least a casual, like, acquaintanceship because we both like foams. Some people are more of Jordan guys. Some people, I was talking to one of my friends on Facebook the other day. They were talking about some of the early penny models, the Air Max 1, the Air Max 2, the Air Max 3, the 4. I always felt that penny's shoes were way up there, maybe even above LeBron's shoe, maybe even above Kobe, but unfortunately for Penny Hardaway, he had a lot of injuries in his career, and he didn't have the sustained greatness that some of those other people had. So even though they continued to make shoes on his line, he just didn't have the level of popularity.
What you hit on is one of the main things that's so fun about it. Like, everybody has different tastes. Everyone has different opinions about what they will and won't wear. People have weird reasons why they don't wear stuff. I mean, it's really, like you said, it's like a secret community, like, where if you're out and about and I'm wearing something that's rare, like, so I don't even expect most people to know sometimes what's on my foot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even expect it. But when somebody walks up to you and goes, dude, those are so dope. It's just, it's kind of cool. It's a cool little match. I mean, I know some people who don't wear Jordans anymore. I know some people who have a ton of Jordans but still don't wear them anymore. I know people who wear only rugby shoes, or like, I have a rule. I don't buy Jordans after 11. Like, even though I think the 12s are hot, I don't buy Jordans after 11. So I only buy 1 through 11, and I don't buy 9s and 10s. I mean, those are my, like, hard and fast rules. Like, and
see, I cap Jordans at the 16.
See, I know.
Because the 12 gammas are fire. Fire.
I know people, but see, that's funny how the culture is, though. I know people who don't deal with anything that's not OG. So they wouldn't even mess with the Gamma 12s.
You are listening to Advent Sports Network, your exclusive home for South Central Conference basketball and the Lance J Radio Show.
I don't think it was very nice of you to walk off the way you did.
I didn't win.
I know you didn't win, but the important thing is you was in there trying. Now that's what's important.
We don't give you no medal for trying.
I know that. I know they don't. And it's nice to win something. It's real nice to win something. But it's more important to know how not to win something.
I know how to do that real good.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
So last night I had a chance to go and see the movie Race, which is the story about Jessie Owens. It also highlights a very pivotal time in the history of the world, the 1936 Olympics in Berlin, Germany. Adolf Hitler's intent was to use this as a showcase for the superiority of the Aryan race, the master race, so to speak. In 1936, Hitler was prepping for World War and conquest. He was in the process of eliminating the Jewish race and people who were determined not to be Aryan, segregating those people and putting them into captivity. Jessie Owens was an American sprinter. He won 4 gold medals during that Olympics, and he faced a lot of bigotry as an African American coming from a working class family in Cleveland, Ohio, faced a lot of bigotry as he was moving up the ranks to have an opportunity to represent the United States of America. I'm not going to talk really long about this. I'm just pointing out one of the things that I love about having my own show. I can point out people for being full of crap, and I can point out the industry for being complete frauds and liars, which I like to do. So Hollywood lies to you all the time. Most people are too stupid to pick up a history book or reference any of this stuff. There's a scene in the movie Race where the IOC representative, the International Olympic Committee representative from the United States, goes to Germany, talks to Joseph Goebbels, who's the second in command to Hitler, before the Olympics, and says, you guys got to clean up all of this racial propaganda and all of this hatred of Jewish people, and you're openly rounding Jewish people up and moving them into ghettos, segregating them, committing hate crimes against these people. You can't do this openly and have in Olympics and be on the world showcase. So basically, America was outraged by the actions of Adolf Hitler. There's a famous scene where it says that when Jessie Owens won those gold medals, Adolf Hitler refused to acknowledge him, refused to shake his hand. I don't know if that's true or if that's not true. There's a lot of speculation about the history. One thing that I do know is true is, let me tell you who wouldn't shake Jessie Owens' hands. That's Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who's the president of the United States. He didn't invite Jessie Owens to the White House. He didn't shake his hand. He refused to acknowledge him as well. The reason I say this is because it's funny that in this movie, like in most movies, Hollywood has rewritten history where America is this great morality. We were shrouded in this cloak of morality and had a better sense of self and a sense of what was going on in the world, needed to console Germany about their awful ways and kind of wag our finger when our own president would not congratulate an American icon on serving his country and representing his country. I'm not even going to get into the list of stuff that was going on with black people in the South in 1936 because you guys already know. You're listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
The Lance J Radio Show is taped at Advent Sports Network Studios, located in beautiful Emerald City of Seattle,